You're listening to It Matters with Kelly Kors on AM 1240 and 95.3 FM WJON.
It's 10:42. Welcome back to It Matters. Thank you for joining us. There's so much stuff going on in the summer. Barry is here from the SBDC. Barry, thank you so much for being here for our local business review today. How you been?
Hey, I'm on now.
There
Right?
you
Well,
go.
thank
Sorry.
you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. It's good to be here as always. It's kind of a midweek boost to be on the Kelly Curtis show with It Matters. We look forward to it. We have a lot of fun with the SBDC.
Wow.
I think something that's noteworthy that I know WJON's been talking about is I drove by because our office close to the old City Hall, and it's coming down.
Yeah.
The equipment was being placed, but when I drove by there, it was about 25% down. It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like tonight when I leave work.
Isn't it crazy how so quickly things can come down like that, which is great. I mean, we try to get stuff done and get new things started.
Yeah, and
awesome.
Speaking of today, the guest that we have on, Wendy is not here today. She's out, but she always talks about connections. Well, one of our previous guests, Carolyn Booz from McKinsey's Boutique, I was talking to her, and she said, we were just talking about life in general, and she's talking about her brother who has an excavating company, Eod Gapinski.
And Rod is joining us today. Hi,
Yes.
Rod.
Good morning, guys.
We're so glad that you were able to take a little bit of a break and join us today. You've been doing bobcat and excavating work since you were pretty young, huh?
Yeah, I guess we kind of started on the farm with bobcats, of course. Rocks got a little heavier. The hay got a little heavier, and got one of those. So it was pretty easy and natural to get into heavy equipment and bobcat work. And I graduated in 84 and kind of thought it out to do concrete work and dirt work, and it's been going fun ever since.
So you started RG Excavating in 1995?
Yeah, that was kind of the official start date. In 85 is when I started digging down the cities, a lot of new construction homes and commercial work. And I just found it was a lot of fun. The traffic was interesting to learn.
Sure.
But the people you get to meet, the challenges you get to take on, you can't beat it. It's great.
That's good. It sounds like you just absolutely love what you do, and isn't that what we all strive for? Is like if we're going to work every day, we find what we love, and you kind of found it early in life, so that's really fantastic. And that makes me think about you when you're growing up. Were you involved with 4-H a lot?
Heavily.
Yeah.
I think when me and my brothers, we have a family of 9, 6 brothers, 3 girls, and we're all working on the farm, of course. But we used to show at June Dairy Days, and then we started with 4-H, at the same time. It was like 8 or 9 years old. I started showing cattle to my brothers, and I remember the first calf I got to raise, show until she was a full-range cow, a milk cow, and I got more involved more and more with everything out there, actually.
So then that kind of leads into you becoming a volunteer at the Benton County Fair, and now you sit on the board, and you're part of the grandstand committee this year.
Yeah. The opportunity came in front of me, called a couple of people, and they thought it'd be a perfect fit, and I took the opportunity, and I am so happy I did that. The people that were, previously there and are still there are probably the nicest people you can meet, and the hours they put in. I'm minutely done, but no, it's great. It's really good to be involved.
So tell us a little bit about some of your first experiences at the Benton County Fair.
I would have to say it's probably showing the cattle. A lot of the friends of 4-H that we used to kind of hang out with from different cities, from Royalton, Rice, Foley, Sauk Rapids, whatever. We used to stay overnight in the barns to watch the cattle, make sure they're fine. And today we are all best friends. We still do a lot of stuff together. And so that kind of attracts me back to getting involved with the grounds, every aspect, from the horses to the cattle to the grandstand.
So that just makes you want to keep coming back and volunteering with the fair. Just because it really is important when you build those really strong connections. It's like, this is a time of year. It's almost like a reunion.
Yeah, huge. You're right on. Yeah, it's something you always give back one way or another, but when you have an opportunity, man, you take it, and this is a heck of an opportunity. I love it.
I'm so glad. So, what do you? I mean, there's a lot of things to enjoy about the fair, right? What do you enjoy the most about the Benton County Fair?
I think the most is probably the cattle barn and the horse barns.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to peg it, I was that young man back in the day showing that calf, pulling me around the ring or here or there, watching them, and I'm watching these young kids doing this, and the horses, how disciplined the kids have to be to understand the animal, so they're both on the same wavelength. So I think that's probably my biggest attraction. Grandstand stuff is fun because I'm a motorhead and wrench guy. But I think the kids, I see something in them that I was, and it's very exciting to see.
I grew up on a farm too, Rod. So I always think about when I would go to the county fair. I loved going through the barns. Barry, I don't know if can you recall when you were a kid going to the barns?
I was a farm kid for a while.
Yeah?
Yes.
And you go through it and you see, and there's just something about it that's just so relaxing. You don't think about anything else. There's no worries. You're walking through the barn. You're just amazed. These animals are just so beautiful. You know, we're so used to them in a way, but most of us don't get to see a cow on a daily basis, or a calf or a chicken, and to see all the different varieties of animals that are at the fair. It just takes you to a different place, away from cell phones, away, unless you're taking pictures of animals, I suppose.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? It takes you back a little bit and makes
the
you...
rabbits, the chicken. My wife likes the chickens, and it's just the horses are so
grand.
so stately. Yes,
they're just beautiful, and I love how people will braid their tails and do different things.
Well, I think Rod kind of the work and the discipline to show an animal and the commitment speaks very well. And 4-H, I was part of 4-H when I was a kid, and they do a good job of building solid people and future leaders in a lot of different vocations. Of course, it's geared towards, rural enterprises.
But Rod, I want to ask Rod this too, because I think a lot of people believe that they have to be a farm kid to be in 4-H, and you don't, right, Rod?
Oh, no, not at all. No, you can get in with the group, call around to your Benton County Extension or just the 4-H, and right down to the fairgrounds.
Right.
The information is out there, and I'll tell you, kids being involved and be a part of somebody else's life, and then you have 2, and then you have 3 kids and more, and then the ideas, the questions and answers, and the next thing, and it spawns off to another deal. Next thing you know, we're doing projects of all sorts.
Right. Barry has a question for you.
I have to kid you about something. You know how I found we linked up your sister, and I know your sisters are very important to me. You told me that, and she said, "Well, Rod's pretty humble, but he did a lot with his excavating knowledge to improve the dirt work at the grandstand." And I think that with the demolition derby and everything that goes on over there, that people are going to enjoy the hard work you did. And she said he'll probably be too humble to take any credit for it, but he did a nice job.
Well, I'm glad that you shouted him out for it, because he probably wouldn't do
right,
that.
Exactly. And Carolyn made that point to me, and I said, I think we can work that into the conversation.
Yeah. So, Rod, tell me about some of the grandstand events that are happening this year, because that also, as a kid, I loved that. It was all a part of the fun of going to the county fair.
Well, starting on Tuesday, grandstand, we have a ranch rodeo going on, and that kind of consisted of the demo area for the cars there. We kind of needed to screen that dirt to get little parts and pieces out and rocks, whatever. So had an opportunity to do that. I was given an opportunity, and I said, we'll take care of that. And I got a screening plant from a local business, brought some equipment in, and a couple of the guys stopped through, helped out. So we got that ready for horses, and then we actually have a draft horse pull and show the next morning.
Oh, cool.
So then we have demos. That'll be really neat with big horses. You have to see those. You just have to stop and see them. Then there's a demo going on Wednesday night, which we'll get ready for. The dirt will have to be kind of moved around and put into place, and barriers and whatever. There again, we have other guys. I'm a new part of it, but there's a great group of guys I'm involved with. But, so, we got the tractor pull and the truck pull going on, so we're redoing the track and making it look really nice. Right now, we're pretty much basically ready for it. Mm-hmm. But we have other things going on also, so it's a blast. It's an opportunity, and, you got to take it.
You know what? I think, wow, how lucky is Benton County to have you where you're so passionate about that and you just get to dig right in there and help with the, getting it all ready. I can't imagine what a job that must be for other counties that don't have access to someone who has this type of experience and just loves to volunteer.
Well, they've had it in the past. They'll have it in the future, and they have me now. And I'll be around for a long time. The guys that have been doing it have been doing a terrific job. The people with in the office, the main board members, they just run constantly and answer the questions, and it's like, yep, no problem, we'll do it. And it makes it easy for me. I'm just a little piece of the puzzle, so I can't express enough of the other team members on that. So,
that's really awesome. But I've also heard that you also help other counties with their county fairs too. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in truck and tractor pulling probably for 20-some years. Been on a national level and region and state. So we go all over the place with this, with the tractors and whatever. And I build quite a few for guys all over the states and Canada and wherever. And you just get this group of guys that you're involved with, and it turns into fairgrounds from this place, that place, and they ask this and ask that, and we all work together, and we come out with a really good show.
That is so exciting. It's so exciting he's like to listen to Rod talk about what he does for a living. It's like one of the most passionate, he's like, wow, like this inside and out.
I haven't met Rod yet. We've only talked on the phone, and he's like, well, that his family is a family of entrepreneurs. And, one thing I want to give a shout out, Rod, is I think it's getting close to our 50th year with the Pantowners Antique Auto Show. That's always the week after the fair, third week in August. And that's been a great relationship with working with different members of the Benton County Fair Board to put on that show. And it's a win-win. It's a win for the Fair Board as well as the Antique Auto Club. So it's another example of small businesses and people volunteering in the community and just doing great things. And you're a shining example of that from the work you're doing.
Yeah, it's only because of the people around me. I think all the excavating companies around me that we work together. My fiance, she's just awesome. She puts up with a lot of hours of me being here and there and all over.
Yeah.
And she is always such a smiley person. Beginning of the day, end of the day, 4:30 morning gone. 9 o'clock at night being home, and what we can get on weekends is great. So I have positive reinforcement 24/7 from her. So, it's I'm in a good place in life. It's great.
It's so good. Just want to let everybody know about the Benton County Fair. Now, this is coming up next week. What are the dates? August 2nd through the 7th, Tuesday through Sunday?
Yes, it is actually, and every day is full of new acts. I guess as I kind of think about it, like the Cottonwood stage, I really would like to see everybody just stop by there. The new talent, the young talent, it all starts there. Just imagine yourself being 8, 9 years old and getting up in front of 100 people and trying to remember the words to what you were reciting. Mm-hmm. And then you accelerate that by 40 years and you're up on stage and you have a stadium to play in front of.
Yeah.
So it all starts somewhere, and I think these are the places that it starts at.
I look at some of the fun stuff here, scavenger hunt, reptile shows, the dairy judging, goats. You talk about the midway. There's bingo. There's so much fun when it comes to the county fair. And if you're thinking about going, you're wondering what's happening every day, you can go to bentonfairmn.com to see the full schedule of everything that's happening. There's even places there for you to get involved if you'd like to become a volunteer. Maybe, like Rod loves it. He can't get enough. Might be just a thing for you as well. And that's where you can go to find out all the details about the different things that are happening. So it's going to be a really fun event again this year. And I'm assuming that you are going to be planning on participating again next year as it looks, what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, definitely. We, it's just kind of a start.
Yeah.
So, I'm making plans already for next year, what's going on. And we're all a big team. Like I say, I sit in the corner and bring an idea to the table, and the rest of us kind of like, that would work out pretty cool.
Now, Rod, do you have any siblings that work in your excavating business with you, or is this solely you and some of your friends?
Me and some of my friends. My brother Guy has a concrete business. They work new home construction down in the cities, and he runs pretty hard. But him and me, I kind of help him out with mechanical and whatever he needs on that end.
Yeah.
But no, they're always by my side. My family is a pretty terrific family, Huey. It's a really neat family to be involved with. Actually, it's very neat.
It sounds like you had some fun parents that really made him enjoy life. Did you have a question, Barry?
Well, I have a comment on the fair, and what I like about the fair too is you have your exhibit building where small businesses and nonprofits can come to the fair and connect with people and market their businesses or talk about their nonprofit and how they help the community, and that's a big part of it too. It's a great opportunity for small businesses.
Yeah. It's always fun to kind of walk through and talk to the folks and how they started and find out what they've learned and what they're still learning.
Yeah.
Right. I have a client that's going to be at the fair first time with a new business, so I'm excited to go over and see how that works for her.
Terrific. Sounds good.
Before we go, Rod, for excavating, do you work for, pretty much anybody in the community? If they're looking for some excavating, can they reach out to you? Do you have a website or Facebook page?
No, actually, it's kind of hard to keep up already. I kind of go word by mouth and job by job. I let the work do the speaking, actually.
Yeah.
But if you, I'm into everything commercial, road, demo, new construction, to horse arena build, to parking lots, to you name it, I'm into all that.
You're in all
I'm
of
set
that.
up for everything. So 320-250-1006. But it's like we were saying before, it's like driving big Tonka toys every day, and it's a blast.
You sound like my brother. I only have one brother. I have a brother and a half, but I grew up with one of my brothers, and he was like, we always called it playing under the tree. He had one tree, and he had all his semis, and he drives semi. I got kicked off the tractor because my 4-year-old brother was a better driver than me, and I had to go back to picking rock. He was driving the tractors back then, standing up, and pushing the pedals because he was so little, but he was great at it. He just grew up loving that stuff. So,
yeah,
sounds like you did too. Yeah. Well, Rod, thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you for doing so much there at the Benton County Fair. We look forward to being out there. I'm going to be out there. I know several of us will be broadcasting from the Benton County Fair next week, August 2nd through the 7th. It's Rod Gapinski from RJ Excavating. Thanks for being our guest today.
All right. Yep. Stay humble and kind, please.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks, Rod.